Hey everybody, welcome back to the 15th episode of the Editor Cast. This week we will be featuring Davis. Okay, welcome to
Hello,
the...
how's it going?
Yeah.
Hi.
So how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. No, everything's been good recently. I've been busy with work and a lot on the Dan channel and the Jack channel right now. Just keep myself busy, really.
So I had to mention that basically how I got to know about you and I got interested in you was I am a long time DANTDM viewer, like a
Oh,
long
really?
time DANTDM viewer.
That's awesome.
The first channel I started following was Dan's. That was like 5-6 years back.
Mhm.
And you know, I got into this community through Minecraft. That was the first game I ever played
Mhm.
on my PC. So yeah, that's how. So when I found you, because I think Dan didn't have an editor until like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
He
he
used to edit.
didn't. He's been doing his own stuff
Yeah.
before. He had an editor before me, but
Uh
he
huh.
ended up parting ways because he wanted to, I think, do some other stuff, and
Yeah,
then I
but
took over.
you started working last year with him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I basically started working with him as like a backup editor for his other editor.
Uh huh.
About a year and a half ago, I was in college, so that's when I got hired. About around a year
Yeah,
and a half
because
ago.
so I was watching his videos, and all of a sudden, one of his videos, he mentions that the editing style might be a bit different because he's hired someone new, and I loved that style so much because I was also starting to get into motion design kind of stuff in that time, and I loved
Yeah,
how you incorporated all your motion design and all your skills in that content video.
man, I appreciate
Um,
that.
and yeah, that's like I didn't know you back then. I only got to know you like a month ago that you were the one who does that. But I loved the videos ever since you started doing them. Um,
Thank you, man. I really
so
appreciate that.
okay,
Seriously.
so we kind of got distracted right at the start.
That's
The
all
first
good.
question I usually ask everybody that comes on the podcast is how and when they started editing.
Okay, that's actually a good question. I haven't thought about this in a while, actually. Um, so basically, what happened, right, was I made my own content for like the longest time. I started making some videos in this game called Maple Story. I don't know if you've heard of it. But I played that for a while, and I made my own videos. And then one day, this person that I watched was looking for an editor, and I edited my own videos for like 2 years before this, and this was around like 26. No, it was around like 2018. Like it was like late 2018. Um, and then all my subscribers told me to go for it, so I did. It was basically this big contest, right? And then on the day of the contest, he showed it all on stream. I was the one who won. I got hired. Pretty much it was like January 2019. And that's when I started editing, I guess, professionally for people. Was like early 2019.
Okay.
And then I went from there, kind of up. I went to like lead YouTubers. I worked in a couple of companies like Fanatic for a bit, a couple editing companies and stuff, and then I
Oh,
landed
you
where I
worked in
am
Fnatic.
now. Yeah,
Okay.
for like a short amount of time, but yeah, I've been doing this for a bit. But it all started to kind of like pop off when uh, I went to college. And then right as it like popped off initially, I ended up dropping out and pursuing it full time, and that's kind of where I am right now. So
Oh, okay. So you did drop out. That was
I
what I
did,
was
yeah.
gonna ask. So what were you
Yeah.
studying in college?
Film. Yeah, I was studying
Uh
film
huh.
and post production, but while I was there, I felt like I was learning nothing, and I was a lot more advanced than most people, because most people coming and starting this program didn't know how to edit, right? So it was all like basics. So I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm basically wasting my time, and I'm basically doing my dream job already. Why don't I just pursue it full time? So I quit, and at the time I wasn't making too much, until one day where I was about to move out on my own, and I emailed like 50 content creators at once, and the
Oh.
only person that got back to me was Jacksepticeye, and then I worked for him I still work for him today.
Okay, so that's been like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years pretty much.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I started working with him like a year ago or something. Yeah, I've basically been editing for like 2 years.
Okay, so when did you start doing this content thing? Because the point with the question that I asked you is I wanna know how long it took you to become as good of an editor as you are. Because you say you started professionally editing at in January 2019, but obviously you'd still been editing for
okay. Yeah. So basically I started editing like for the first time probably back in like 2014. But the editing was just cuts and like pop-up graphics, like very like simple stuff. So yeah, it was around like 2014, but I didn't really take it seriously until I started editing professionally when like around that like 2018 2019 mark and stuff. But yeah, around that time.
Okay, so what, you've been editing for 3-4 years?
Yeah, or probably 4 or 5 years, yeah, I guess.
And so how did you discover your passion for this field? So you were studying this in college too, you're doing this as a career. How did you discover that you were passionate about this stuff?
Well, like I said before, right, I did my own content for a little bit. I didn't really do much, like it wasn't anything crazy, but I was really passionate about it, like I think throughout high school and even in college a little bit. I was extremely passionate about it, but editing as a whole, I started getting really passionate about it when I started working with this girl named Natsumi, which is my first, like, I guess, real, like, proper client, I guess, that, like, paid me, because before I wasn't getting really paid at all. So yeah, like, that was my first experience.
I think I've heard about Natsumi. I don't follow her, though. I'm not sure.
I think she plays Among Us with all those, like, big...
Yeah,
like toast and stuff, right?
I think he plays with Saikuno. That's where I know her from.
Yeah, around that time, that's kind of when I started like getting really passionate about it and like learning motion graphics, especially. That's when I just fell in love with it. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So what I've seen being a trend in the editing community, or being any artist for that matter, is like you dropped out from college. A lot of people want to do that, but the main problem they face is their parents not being down with it and anything. So did you face any problem in that category?
Yeah. So I had a job back then, of course. I worked in construction, right? But I really wanted to do this editing thing, and I was talking to my parents about it, and they were completely against it. They thought it was stupid. Like, I'm not throwing them under the bus or anything. They fully, like, at the time, it probably sounded stupid. I want to edit for creators, like, to a parent, it probably sounds crazy.
Yeah, because right? It's understandable, because in their time, this wasn't an option. This wasn't something that existed.
It's just, it's so new now. Like, I didn't even really know about editing for creators until I actually started. I was kind of shocked that that's an actual career, But yeah, no, I definitely had some backlash and some harsh fights about it. But then when I started showing them that I can actually do this as a career and like I can self-sustain myself and I'm actually doing pretty good things, they started to kind of lean towards my side of things. And I showed them and I taught them kind of what I was doing. You just gotta like talk to your parents about it, and if they don't support you, do it in the silence for a bit and then come back when you have some evidence that you're that this can be a career, and in the end, I mean, it's your life, you can do what you want. Like, if you want to do this as a career, you can do it. You just got to work hard, and show them. Exactly.
Because so I'm in a different education system, so to speak. We don't have high school and then college here. We have school and then college and then university.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the British education system, I think.
Okay.
So I'm finishing school this year. Basically, it's the 10th standard, the 10th year of school. And then I'm gonna go to college and university. I don't have any plans on dropping out just yet. I've been editing for about 3 years. But there is always that doubt, because I'm passionate for this. Obviously, I want to make this my career. But there is always that doubt. What if this does not work out? What if I'm at the last year in my university, right? After this I have to start a job. I have to start something to sustain myself. But I'm not successful enough in the editing industry yet, or in the production industry yet, so that like I can make a living out of it. Have you ever had that doubt?
Yeah, I still have it. I overthink a lot, so on like a daily basis I'm like, what if this just all goes away, right? What if it doesn't last? But I have a lot of friends in the community, and we've had long deep talks about this, and we're like, you know what, like in the end, like what we have, like I mean, like I got a pretty good resume. I think I'm pretty sure, like even if I wanted to work in like a place with like that does ads or something, or like my end goal is I want to do music videos. That's like where I want to transition to in the future, which I'm slowly but surely working on right now. But yeah, no, like it happens to all of us. Don't worry, but you gotta kind of like really push through it and really like work hard to get to that point. Like it's a lot of sacrifice.
I mean, yeah, true. I mean, I feel lucky that I have realized what I want to do. Just like at 14, I was 14 when I started
wow.
editing,
Damn.
and well, okay. So funny story. I actually started editing because of one of Dan's videos.
Really? That's awesome.
Because one of those videos was like reading hate comments or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old that is, but it was what he did was, like every YouTuber does, the comment would come up on the screen, he would read it, and that was like, I was like, wow, how is that comment coming on the screen? How did he do that? That's magic. Because also he was doing like these, how YouTuber does tricks to make it seem like more natural. He's like sliding in the comment with his hands and like popping it in and stuff like that.
That was sick.
So yeah, I was like, okay, this guy's a magician. And so instantly I Google it up. I'm like, okay, how do you do this? And then back then I found a Vegas tutorial how to put image on your video or something like that. So that's how I started editing. And
that's awesome. Cool, actually.
But yeah, it was like back then it was just like you say, my own content. I used to record myself playing Bed Wars and just like edit that and send that to my friends. But then in 2019 I properly started editing. But what I mainly work in the kind of category of editing that I mainly work in right now is montages.
Montages?
Montages. Like Fortnite montages, Valorant montages, where you basically just clip a bunch of clips, sync to music and stuff. I wish I could do content, because okay, how long does it take you to edit one DANTDM video?
Well, okay, so when I started, I had no idea what I was doing, because when you start for like a brand new client, it takes a little bit to like ease into the role, right? Nowadays, it takes me like a day. That's it, really, to edit the video, like cut it, edit it. It's like a day and a half, I think, and then it goes up.
Okay, so and how many hours do you work a day?
How many? I work all day. Like I'd say I work like 12 hours a day sometimes even more. Like I think 12 hours is even on like the lower side for me sometimes.
Wow.
I work a lot. It's not good. Trust me. Like the whole grind 24/7 thing, like it is glorified, but like please make sure to take breaks. Like any editors listening to this, take time for yourself. Even like if it's something small, like going to get some water, going outside for a walk, or even like taking a longer break if you're burnt out. Like taking breaks is very important, but obviously not overdoing them to the point where you're not even working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, take breaks. But yeah, I work like 12 hours a day, sometimes 14.
So
it depends on like how quick I need the video out and stuff.
So basically, there's only a few content editors that I truly follow. One of them is Sense. I don't know if you know him. One of them's Tommy Innit's editor. Yeah, his name is Sense. SENS.
I think I know him. And then Larry, I love Larry.
Oh yeah. No. Tommy has two editors. He has Archie and Larry.
Archie.
Yeah.
Archie. Yeah. I love both of them.
I love how Archie has the aspects in his video, like how he in his in Tommy's latest video with the speedrunning stuff. I don't know if you watched it. But the intro, how he just like the textures on the sky, it comes down and the player shows. I love how he tells that story. So he's
like, honestly, like Archie, like he's a good friend of mine, right? He is a huge inspiration of mine. He is a very, very talented editor. He's working on this like ARG right now, and on his like second Twitter or something. Even if you just quickly look at that, like he is on another level. Seriously.
And
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, those videos are like sometimes I'm shocked how much time would have gone into that. How he just is the most complicated stuff. And I know as a viewer, like a normal viewer doesn't appreciate it as much as editors do because they know how much time it takes. But yeah, he's one of my favorite content editors. And then ever since I've been following you, I was technically a fan of you even before I knew you. So
thank you. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, I don't follow much content editors, but these guys, you guys that I follow, I want to edit some content because I want to be someone who makes their own content too. I like this podcast was also a way of me to create content alongside editing. Editing is my passion, but content creation is also something I'm interested in. And I want to do I want to edit my own content, but it's like so time consuming. I can't wrap my head around it. It's I mean I know like montages aren't easy either. I've had to work over like 50-60 hours in a 2-minute montage.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Holy.
But it's still like with montages, your deadlines for one are longer, way longer. Like with a montage you can get up to 2 to 3 weeks of time. And if it's a big organization who wants a big announcement, they can even give you a month or something like that. But with content videos, like especially like you say, you do it in one day, and I don't. That's just.
That's the thing though about content editing, right? You have to like discipline yourself almost, because like these creators, you know, when it happens, let's say on stream or something, you want it out as quick as possible so it doesn't become irrelevant. Right? Yeah. So getting it out quickly obviously is important, but also making it of quality in that quick time. It takes time to like learn how to like optimize like cutting like footage down and like editing certain things and presets and all that. Just save time. The more you save time, the more valuable you are.
Exactly.
You know?
So there was this thing I have a recording of me editing about 2 years ago in 2019, and so I had recorded that for a series that I wanted to do on my channel. So if you know graphic designers, they do this thing on their, like some of them do this thing on their YouTube channels where they post speed arts when they're like making the whole graphic thing, whatever thumbnail or banner or whatever they're making. They record the whole process and then they just speed it up, and so you can just quickly see everything coming together, and it's like a cool little piece of content. And I wanted to do that with editing. I had never seen anybody do that before.
That would be cool, actually. Yeah. You got a good point.
Yeah. So I did one of those, and so I had that footage saved still. And a few weeks ago, I was looking at that footage, and then I was in. Like, I almost hated myself, like how slow my workflow was. And it's just like with time you get to realize, okay, you know, this plugin makes my work better, this plugin is just useless, or this layout, having my effect controls on the top right, or having this bar there, having this option here, it makes your workflow faster without you even noticing it. And
100% agree.
When you do it, you're like, okay, this is more convenient, but it's actually more efficient too, because you know, even if it's say going to the top of your scrolling to the top of your screen to click on an option, and having it just like 2 inches below wherever you're editing. Like I had this, you know that bar that you have in After Effects, which has all the tools on the top.
Yep.
So I learned the what's it called, shortcuts for those, right? The V for the selection tool and stuff.
Just wipe it out, right?
Yeah, and so I used to just go, like, use my mouse, go to the top there, select it, and then use it. And now I know the shortcuts. And even let's say that it saves you a second to do this shortcut, in the long run, you just calculate how many times you open that thing. It saves you at least an hour in a big project.
No, definitely, like 100%. Like, shortcuts are the way to like save time. Like, for instance, I showed my friend the other day, there is this way to like cut footage. Like, it's like two key bindings. It's add, edit, and ripple, trim, or something, right? And if you combine those two while cutting, you can edit like the Flash. Seriously, it's like you don't have to ever touch the razor tool anymore. It's just learning key bindings and using them to your advantage is the way to go. Like, it's so good. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm doing this client work for a guy who wants just like subtitles on his videos. It's more of like a conspiracy theory guy, right? The guy makes conspiracy theories. He gives me the audio file. I need to put subtitles on them, and he gave me an account to Storyblocks, which is like a stock videos website. And I need to match the footage with whatever he's saying. And it's pretty simple work, but subtitling takes a lot of time. And so the first video, the first video I ever did, it took me 4 days for a 10-minute video. And then I was like, okay, there's no way 4 days for 10 minutes. That's just too much. Even the client's gonna just get rid of me. So I Google stuff, and I'm trying to find more efficient ways to subtitle videos. And I find this guy's video. Finzar, his name is, and I actually ended up subbing to him. His content is pretty funny. So this guy has made a tutorial on how to subtitle your videos, and I realized this shortcut that he uses and he tells in his video about is make one subtitle and then just all drag that layer over and over. Just change the text in it, and that is so much more efficient. So the next video,
it's so good.
the next video, I literally cut my time in more than half. I did that in 1 day, and I used a few hours in the next day too. But from 4 days to that, it was crazy. Awesome. And now I can do one in like less than a day. So it's obviously experience, and time matters. But there's also the shortcuts and everything. They massively improve your workflow, definitely. Another hurdle a lot of editors face is motivation. A lot of times you're just out of it. So let's say you're out of motivation. What do you do that motivates you to edit?
Well, the main things I do, right, if I'm not feeling motivated, or if I'm not really like looking forward to editing, because it happens to the best of us, right? It's a really common occurrence. First thing, just like take a break. Just get off the computer, step away from it. Don't even look at it. Just go for a walk, walk around, grab a coffee, go and do something else, get your mind off something, for like 30 minutes. Or, watch something that would inspire you. For instance, like watch another editor. Like, I do that all the time. Like, I love watching my friends' videos because they're talented as hell. On the phone with the swear, sorry. But like, they're super talented, or like I watch like a music video or something, and I just get inspiration off that. Those are two like main ways that I become motivated more, I guess. But the main one is just taking breaks. Small breaks here and there help a lot, But yeah, that's like the main things I can say.
I mean, you like that watching your friends' videos. That's true, because even with montage editing, sometimes motivation is obviously a factor, but a lot of times I just don't have ideas, and it's like, what do I do? Like, because with montages, everything can get repetitive. You have content, right? The content, it depends on the content creator on what kind of content he makes, if it gets repetitive or not. But with montages, everything is on the editor. All right, you need to try something new. So and even though like obviously you guys have that content thing, but the only reason I like you and Archie and like Sense more than anybody else is even you guys try to put more creativity into your projects. Like I mentioned with Archie and that Dan collab with Tommy. I loved that video. I watched that last night when you tweeted about it. Also, okay, so after we're done talking, I have a video about that question. A question about that video. So. Yeah, that is definitely one of the best things. I have a friend, Pronab. Actually, he wanted to sit in the. He said if he could. He asked if he could sit in the voice chat with his mic muted during this podcast because he wanted to listen to you directly.
Hey, I mean, I don't really care. It's up to him if he wants to. It's okay.
I don't know. I don't think he's here anymore. He was like in the call with me an hour ago. But
all good.
So yeah, he's one of my closest friends, and then there's another friend of mine. So there's like I have a really close friend circle. I don't socialize too much, except for like my Twitter. I have like I try to interact with the people who follow me as much as I can. But other than that, like the friends group, the people that know me truly, not too big of a friends group. But those guys' videos, and all of them are better than me at editing. Let's just get that out of the way. So when I watch them, the main thing I take away from it is one, I want to get as good as them. I want to overtake them. Obviously, because in every group there's rivalry, there's competition, and that's what makes it fun.
Oh no, definitely. I 100% agree with that. Like the whole like competitiveness. I have like a couple of friend groups that are all editors, right? And a lot of them are better. Like I feel like they're way better than me. But like it's kind of a good thing because like
because I found
ideas back and forth and stuff, and it's just a good vibe.
I found that. So I observed this with a few editors. I found that when they didn't have any competition, and it wasn't because their videos were perfect, it was just that there was no one else doing that work at the time, right? Say like when the Fortnite editing community was really new, there wasn't much editors there. The people who were the best sort of at the time, even though they weren't that good, but they were the best because the community wasn't that big and not that old to have matured or like gotten better at editing. When those people didn't have competition anymore, they just stopped trying, they just stopped innovating, and like they were on the top at some time, and now they're like not like nobody remembers them. And it's like when, especially in this on social media, you're in a sea, like you're in a, what I read this in a book, you're in a global village sort of, right? And you can get lost here really easily. So you need to always be innovating, always be creative.
I agree, actually. I should probably listen to that sometimes because, there is times where I'm like, because the whole like time constraint, right? I'm always like stressing to get the video out, but I also really want to do some cool stuff to make sure that it's different and like I just want to be different from the rest. That's like my main goal. I want to do different things. I want to try something new. That's what I honestly recommend like every editor is just, see what other people are doing, but seeing what you could do differently, like just try different things and just have fun with it. I don't know. That's agreed.
Because like I find that every single time I'm doing an edit, and obviously we have deadlines, and I have this really cool thing in my head, and I'm not able to execute that properly because of the deadline or because of my resources, because I have a really bad PC for now. And it's like disappointing because I was like, okay, if I did this video could have been better than all those videos which like my friends made or this editor made, and I can't do that, and it's sort of a disappointment, but it's also something to motivate me for the future. Okay, I still need to overdo this, and that's also a sort of thing. But obviously, it shouldn't get negative. It shouldn't get to the point that you start hating your friends or anything. It should just be.
No,
it should be.
Push them up and like support them and all that. Learn from them. They'll like. I had a friend who was like really harsh and very truthful. And he told me straight up what was trash about my editing, and what I could work on. And like sometimes you gotta have those friends, you know. I'm very grateful for them and stuff.
Yeah, I have a
learned
similar friend too, and
a
it's
lot.
like okay, so this is the thing. That one guy, I have so many friends, right? Like not so many, let's say like 5 to 6 people, and they're always like, okay, this is a decent edit. Nobody ever calls it great, but even when they say it's decent, you know, you get that dopamine thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
And so there's this one guy though. Every single edit I complete, I show it to that guy, hoping that he'll like it. But he's really harsh and he's really strict, right?
No, for sure, yeah.
And almost every single time he destroys me. But
No,
it's
yeah, dude, I had a friend, I still have a friend like that, and I still talk to him today, but he was like very harsh with me. But like the amount of stuff that I learned from him and the rest of my friends, like, is priceless. I don't think I would be where I am today without my friends.
yeah, exactly. So
Like,
those people, people like sometimes I know editors that were friends with this guy before me, but now they're not because they're like, this person is just toxic. But I feel like I realize that it's not toxicity. The guy just has really high standards and he's really strict about them, and he doesn't like to sugarcoat stuff, right?
yeah.
Unlike most of us do. Like if we felt if we don't like somebody, but we still don't wanna, like, you know, mess up our friendship with them, we're gonna sugarcoat stuff. We do that, everybody does, but some people don't, and those people, I feel like those are the most helpful people.
Yeah, definitely,
because
for sure.
I know this guy personally too, right? Outside of editing, I know him personally, and he is the nicest person. But when it comes to his standards, he never compromises, and I think that's good.
I think he just wants you to get better. He wants you to improve. He wants to see what you can show off, you know?
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's
Yeah,
supportive.
because he's always like, every single time it comes down to it, he's like, I know you have potential, and then he's just gonna completely destroy me. Okay,
That's
so
it's fine though.
yeah, and it's always, it's, you know, it's kind of like parents, like, you know, they're always telling you to be better, but it's not that like they hate you. It's like they want to see the best of you. Yeah, they want to see the best of you. And sorry for the background noise if you guys can hear any, because I have a lot. I basically live on the main road. Like like my house is on the main road on the so and there's a ton of heavy bikers here, and they just pass by. It's crazy.
I actually can't really hear it that much, so you're good.
Okay, that's cool. But I think it's in the recording. I think Discord does some noise reduction, which the recording won't. So
Yeah, probably. But
yeah.
I'm sure you can edit it out or something later on.
Okay, so the question I had about the DANTDM video.
What's up?
Last night I watched that video, right? And we all know that Dan does not like swearing in his videos. He just does not put them.
No.
he just does not swear. I've watched him for 6 years, and I've only seen one clip of him swearing, and that was like some impression farming YouTuber, someone else who was putting 6 YouTubers who've sworn and stuff, like, you know, those videos. But there's only that one clip of him that I've seen him swear in, and when I heard that clip, honestly, it felt like he did something illegal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so Dan doesn't like swearing, but on the other hand, if you go to Tommy Innett's channel, that's just a completely different story.
Yeah.
If there isn't a swear word every 3 seconds, it is not a Tommy Innett video. So
Yeah.
I noticed that you've had to put a lot of bloops in that bloop whatever sound effect in that video.
Yeah. So
Did that get annoying?
Okay. Don't even get me started, man. Okay, so Dan requested, he was like, hey, can you censor all the bad words, right? And I thought it was like the generic bad words. I'm pretty sure I left like one word in because I was on a time constraint and I was
I noticed.
like just pushing for it.
I noticed because you were censoring all of them, and then there was this one word which you were just not censoring it. But it's also one of the most commonly spoken words, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, like there's some swear words that I don't consider swear words. Like, can I like?
Yeah,
like,
it's fine.
Like damn. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no,
Dan
that's not
said
no big
damn,
deal.
right? And I got like 5 DMs from these these like kids pretty much. They're like, hey, you left in damn. I'm like, I didn't know it was a bad one. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, some parents
yeah.
are really harsh about that. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really care if you have to swear on this. I don't. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't censor anything.
Yeah, no, like I don't curse too much, but yeah, like occasionally, yeah. But that video though, yeah, I remember Dan told me like, hey, by the way, you're probably gonna have to like censor a ton because you know it's Tommy. Tommy swears a lot, so just like be prepared. I'm like, okay, awesome.
I somehow missed this video because this was like released on the 5th of March, and I was doing a really big project back then. So I think I missed that video.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I missed that video when it was released, but when I see your tweet last night, it was like, oh, Tommy was in his channel and the instant. The instant like thought that crossed my mind was, oh god, Tommy swears a lot. That was the first thought that came to me.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons I clicked the video too, because it was
really?
late it was late night. I had to sleep, but I was like, no, I have to watch what they did about the swearing.
Yeah, no, it's a really weird like dynamic, but honestly, like I had so much fun making that video. Like that video, I enjoyed it so much. It was so fun. I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It was just so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanna like talk to some creators themselves too, because like I wanna see, so you know, your work experience with Dan. I wanna ask you about that.
Sure.
But like also I wanna see Dan's working experience with you, because every story has two sides.
Exactly.
But you know, obviously I can't get into contact with every creator. They're busy people. And I also was planning to bring Archie on, but I didn't find any way to contact him.
If you want, I could recommend you to him. I can
Okay.
do a Discord or something, and I can get you guys in contact.
All right, let's talk about that after the podcast.
We'll do it.
Okay. So yeah, I want to listen to what like the other side says, because I'm an editor myself, and I sometimes wonder what my clients would have thought about, or what my clients would have wanted from me. So that's definitely something I want to know, and if I get the
I
chance.
thought about it too, to be honest. Like I have a pretty good relationship with most of my clients. Like all my clients, I appreciate them a lot, and they're all very nice. Like especially Dan. Dan is like the sweetest dude ever. I swear. Like he is the exact same way he acts in the videos. I don't know, and we work pretty well together. You know, I don't know. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm stuttering a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I stutter a lot, and especially in my podcast. It's I don't know. It's a curse.
Yeah, I was born with a pretty bad stutter, so I was like really nervous if it'll like flare here and there. So if I end up not answering right away, I'm probably stuttering.
It's fine, because
Yeah.
the problem is I don't stutter like naturally. I don't like, and I'm like a really good speaker, and a writer. Okay, when I like, okay, so if you follow, like if someone follows my Twitter, they know that I argue a lot. Okay, like whenever somebody whenever there's like a difference of opinion, there's gonna be a big ass argument, and I'm going to write paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraph. At one point, I was known as the paragraph man of Middle East, because I live in Pakistan, in the Middle East, eastern side of the world, and so it was like people called me paragraph man, and you know, so that's the kind of thing. But still, when doing the podcast, especially when doing the podcast, for some reason, I start stuttering, and I start like messing up my words in English, if like any of you have watched like my previous podcasts. So that's, I don't know what
a
is.
couple before I came on.
Which one did you watch?
I watched the one with Enigma, and then George and Ryan. Divinity.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys, you follow the gaming like montage editing community?
Yeah. Well, like not all of it, but I do know some people from it, because I know that I think Divinity does motion graphics and stuff. Same with George. That's kind
Yeah.
of how I found them and stuff. But I follow a couple montage editors, I think.
So did you know Enigma, or did you just select that podcast randomly?
I knew Enigma from T3C.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but I've heard about him a lot, and he's also like extremely talented. Like,
He's
extremely.
he's
like,
crazy.
he's
He's nuts as everything he does. He's nuts at everything he does. Okay.
I've only seen his 3D stuff, but I'm sure he's nuts. Yeah, I'm sure he's crazy.
Because he started with actually like editing montages back in like 2009. And if you go into his streams to this day, and you type in like there's a command, I think it's called first edit. You type that command in, and it gives you a link to his first edit way back in like 11 years ago. And
Holy.
yeah, like when I saw that edit, that was like a big source of motivation for me. Like, that guy started back there 11 years ago, and he is where he is today. I can become that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that he's done COD editing, he's tried Fortnite editing, but you know, the whole T3C community is really against the whole cartoon game editing thing. He's done 3D.
That's awesome.
He's done 3D, and I think he's also getting into NFTs now.
NFTs are where it's at right now. I was thinking about trying to make one or something. Like,
Yeah, but I think like those websites have like really limited invites, and it's really hard to get one.
Yeah. I think there's certain sites that you can get invites to pretty easily, but there are like the big ones. Like, I think it's like FND or something.
Yeah, FND
like,
Foundation.
Rarible or something as well. Those ones are like the hard ones to get into, I think.
The biggest one I see nowadays is Foundation, which is like every editor is trying to get into it.
Yeah, that's the one that I see a lot. Foundation.
Because I follow a few editors, and like they've sold art for like $10,000 there.
That's what's nuts. Like, you can
Yeah.
make really good money off that, like all the NFT stuff. I've never touched it, but I'm considering it. Definitely.
Have you ever tried 3D?
For like a little bit, but I get way too busy, and it's like really hard to commit to it. That's like on my bucket list though, is like getting into 3D stuff, because I feel like it'd be like a pretty good side hobby. But I think my main thing right now that I'm trying to learn and really master is like motion graphics, and I still have a long way to go, but I feel like I'm slowly but surely getting there.
Okay. Okay, so this is a question that has been lurking in my mind ever since I asked you to come onto the podcast. Every like editor who aspires to become big has a dream client, so to speak, you know, someone who they'd love to work with. But you're already working with some of the leading YouTubers in the entire world. Like, Dan has 24 million, Jack has like I think 30 plus.
Yeah.
So it's like, so do you even have a dream client anymore?
I don't. So when I started editing, right, my dream client was Lily Pichu, right? And I thought that was impossible, because at the time, like, all of her editors were like known as the like god editors. Like, they were the ones that were doing the craziest shit, right?
Yeah.
Then I joined this editing company called Vaudity, which works with Lily, and down the line, I eventually got hired by Lily to work on her channel, and that's kind of what I was like so hyped about, that because that was my dream client. And then as time went on, it just kept going up and up and up, and I'm just like, I don't know who I want to work for next. I'm kind of like very content where I am. Like, I'd be happy working with Dan for the next couple of years. I really enjoy what I do. So
have you ever thought of the possibility to work with PewDiePie?
Yes, but I don't want to. The main reason is because he makes his edit, like, his like style is like purposely trolly, but I'm very like, I like professional, clean, smooth, really nice looking visuals.
Yeah.
But like I think he uploaded a video yesterday, and it was in like 4:3 or something.
Yeah.
like I don't even know. Like, I've thought about it, but I don't think I'd ever get to that. Maybe one day, who knows? I think like
I
the
feel like
next one up
PewDiePie.
is like Markiplier or something.
I think
So
PewDiePie knows that the most of the internet is just trolls, and if you're like
yeah.
successful at all, you have had to face trolls, right? And
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, so I think he knows that and he's embraced it, and that's why all his videos are that style.
Oh yeah. No, his style is like perfect for him. It's perfect for him. Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
yeah, it's crazy. And still, I mean, you look at his videos and you never could have known that he had a mental problem or anything, but he literally shut his Twitter down because of that. He said that he wasn't like, Twitter messed up his daily routine and mental health and stuff. And
Yeah,
whenever he
Twitter is
talks about that stuff,
toxic.
yeah, Twitter can be crazy toxic. I mean,
Yeah.
you have no idea how many times I've wanted to just quit everything, even though I was at the peak of my career at one point, right? And
Yeah.
I'm doing so good, but there's just trolls and just people who unnecessarily hate you, that want to bring you down. And the worst part about it was
Yeah.
that one of these people was someone I used to look up to. So there was this editor who was really small, right? But he was good at what he did. He was a really good editor, and I was like, I wanted to learn from him. And he was really small, so it wasn't like he was really busy, and so I got in contact with him. But he was one of those trolls, and so with the I don't know if you followed the T3C drama and why it got shut down, but he was against T3C and Enigma. And when I hosted that podcast with Enigma, if you go into the live chat replay, which is still available, you can see that person there making fun of Enigma and me for inviting him on.
What? That's so.
Yeah,
Editing drama is so dumb. Ugh, my god. Editing drama is like the most pointless shit ever, in my opinion. Like,
true.
people just get mad over nothing. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, like, T3C got shut down because certain people didn't get uploaded to their channels. Like,
That's that's dumb. That's their decision if they don't want to upload you.
no, but even
Yeah.
let's say they made the wrong decision. Why do you need someone else's approval to feel good?
Exactly. It's dumb. It's stupid.
But yeah. So you need to grow thick skin if you wanna get on here on Twitter. But
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you need to grow thick skin. I've gotten my fair share of toxic tweets. Yeah. So if you wanna, I don't know, being an editor, you kind of have to have that thick skin.
yeah. So back to PewDiePie.
Oh yeah.
You'd never guess from how he makes his videos and how he talks in them that he has such a problem. But when he addresses them, it's honestly, it comes as a surprise. But it's also like you come back to the reality that at the end of the day, he's famous, but he's still a human. And the style that he makes his videos isn't actually how his life goes. So yeah, no.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah.
something that's something everyone needs to realize, because once people think once someone is famous, they have everything.
No,
And-
no.
And
Fame
so
and money isn't happiness.
yeah,
Not-
that I mean, I've like, you see how PewDiePie wanted to quit at like in 2015 or 16, and that was like the peak of PewDiePie.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And he like quits and he goes, but then he realizes that he's so passionate for it that he can't, and he comes back. But
Exactly.
that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that with like fame isn't everything. Because
Fame is not everything. Yeah.
I remember,
Definitely.
okay, I get why people think that, because when you don't have fame, that's all you want. It's like, okay, fame and money, life is set. That's the mindset. But even
No.
I think I haven't grown that much yet. I've only have like 1,200 on Twitter and stuff.
Mhm.
But obviously I have big ambitions. I have big dreams, and I feel thankful to have realized this early, that I want fame, I want money, but it's not everything. It's not like my whole life. I have other things to do too. Okay. Another question that I had: have you ever experienced a creative block?
That yeah, 100, like all the time. Yeah, like I yeah, it takes me a bit. It doesn't happen. Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't happen like all the time now, but I have had it when it was like all the time. Uh, I've kind of like learned with time on how to like block it. It's hard to say like in like pinpoint how I got to that point. It was just like I think I just got a lot more confident with my edits. I used to be like really like I would I don't know I'm my biggest harshest critic. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I was, right? Uh, but yeah.
Anything less of perfection is just trash. That's
Exactly. Yeah. No, like the creative block was a big issue before, but now that I'm a lot more confident with my edits and I kind of like know what is expected and like I don't know, it just comes up off the top of my head like ideas and stuff. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but it just comes with time. That's all I can really say.
I feel like
Yeah.
like, you know, just walking in the open, especially in some in like a place like a forest or something, and listening like to the music that you like. That stuff just broadens your
It
creativity
helps.
so much.
100%. I go on walks every day. I go on a walk in the morning and walk at night, and it seriously helps with my work so much. Like it's so relaxing, and I have so many ideas. And then when I come back to work, I'm so excited to like execute those ideas that I had on that walk. You know?
Yeah, because I
It's-
know
Yeah.
I know the biggest projects and the best work I've done and am going to do. All the ideas came from either when I was on a road trip and in the car, I was just listening to music and looking outside on the landscape. Like the best ideas just come at that point. And the best thing, the best practice I've learned to do is as soon as you get an idea, write it down. Just write it down because you're gonna lose it.
I should do that. I don't do that actually.
I have. So I could show I have like a notepad on my phone, right? The notes app. I have one of those, and it's like it has like 60 paragraphs in it, and every single paragraph is a detailed description of an idea that I had.
Oh my gosh! Holy, that's insane! Wow.
So you know, that's also, you know, at the end of the day goes back to me being a really good writer.
Oh, that's
so.
true. You're a good writer, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually wrote a story when I was like 9, and it got published in a magazine. It was
Oh,
it was a
really?
magazine for kids, but it's still cool.
That's still sick. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I've like I think I'm not just an editor. I'm an artist who just likes to do everything that he enjoys. I've done editing, I've done writing, I've done motion design. I want to get more into motion design. I want to do 3D.
So I want to
So-
get into 3D too. 3D is like my next hurdle that I'm trying to like go towards, but it's really time consuming
Yeah.
and it's just a lot. But once I have time, oh yeah, I'm definitely going for it.
Learning 3D
looks
is
so
like
cool.
one of the coolest things, but also one of the hardest things.
Yeah, it's difficult, but once you kind of get the hang of it and you understand the software and everything, I'm sure it'll be easier to just
Because
style and do it
so
however you want.
Enigma, you know, like we talked earlier, Enigma is one of my inspirations, right? And so when I was trying to learn 3D, I have a really bad PC right now, so I took a break from that because it was unreasonable just to even try and do 3D on this PC. I was wasting time. But what I did when I started learning, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Enigma's old VODs because Enigma has, you know, when he started 3D, he did his first 3D edit. He streamed all of it, like every single bit of it, and the VODs are still available on his Twitch channel. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch his stream and I'm gonna learn things like he did, and maybe that will make things easier for me because he's actually a creator too. He's interacting with his chat. He's entertaining people at the same time. So it's gonna make it easier for me to learn. And so when I watched those VODs and I saw it was equally hard for Enigma as it is for me, it was like it was also like a throwback to, okay, at the end of the day, we're all humans. And so it's a hard thing to do, no matter how good you are at editing
Definitely.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard work. You gotta learn Like I'm sure Enigma's still learning all the
Yeah,
time.
I mean,
Every time I edit, I learn
he
all the
streams.
time.
I mean, you know, every single time you like, this is what art is like. That's why I love it so much.
Same.
Art is never like ending. You can always try
You'll
something new.
always yeah, exactly. There's always more. There's always more you can do. There's never a cap, which is like the best part about this whole industry.
Yeah,
You just do whatever you want and learn and grow with each other.
like Enigma streams every weekend, right? On either Saturday or Sunday. And
Yeah.
all he does on these streams is sometimes he does like a small giveaway or a contest, but mostly he watches other people's edits, and
Okay.
he has those people in his chats. In his chat.
That's
So he has those people in his chat. Yeah, and so whenever he like, and there's so many times I see Enigma is watching an edit, he's like, "That's so cool. Tell me how you did that." And this is also another. So this is why I love Enigma. He interacts with his fans so much, and I've learned from him that no matter how good or how successful you are, you know, Liquid is a big team. He looks so successful and like, you know, the dream person to be. But
for sure.
you know, when you watch his streams and when you interact with him, it just throws you back to the reality that he's still learning. He's a human. He started from 0 to, and we're all equal, and we all get
Exactly. We are like there's.
Yeah, we all reach where we reach because of our own hard work. It's not we're like, you know, we're gifted with skills since birth. No one has that.
Like yeah, no, 100%. Like you're not automatically gonna be good at 3D right away. You're not gonna automatically be good at editing right away. Like when I started editing, I was trash, and you know, like it just comes with time. It's just with everything. It just practice. That's the number one tip I'd give any editor or any artist in general is just do more, work every day, do it every day, do it every other day, as much as you can, you know, and you'll be on the races. Like you'll be set, you know. It just comes with time.
That's what I found to be helpful because, so, you know that feeling where you have a lot of client work and you're like, okay, I've got to get done with this. This is too much.
Yeah.
I'm stressed. Yeah. And then you finally get done with everything and you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Oh my god, don't even get me started, bro. Dude, literally, I finished a video for Dan. I think the video went up the other day. It was like a Among Us video or something, right? And then right after I finished, I'm like, so what do I do now? I'm just like, I just want to work. I'm just waiting for the next video. That's just every editor. I was talking with I think Divinity about that actually too.
Yeah. So I try to like link all the answers of everybody that I get on the podcast to. So I'm someone, like you said, you think a lot. I think a lot myself, all right? And I'm someone who likes to, like, I have this gift, so to speak. I can observe people and then tell how they think. And then also a group of people, I can observe that, like, if someone works in the same industry, like all of us do, we're all in the editing industry in different parts or in different categories, but we're all at the end of the day in the editing industry. And so I've made some observations, and I know a few things about every editor that are common, and that's because of this podcast, right? And one of these things, obviously, and this is how I base my questions too, motivation. It's a problem for every editor. It's not, no one is free of it.
No, but it's not even an editor. It's a problem for everybody. Everybody goes through motivation droughts.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
It's extremely common.
But I feel like with artists, like, you know, editors, we're artists, and artists mostly do like, you know, us editors do it because we love to do it. There's no, like, you know, okay, my father wanted me to become an editor, you know, nothing like that. So
we all have a huge passion for it. So
a lot of people, yeah, and a lot of people say who just do a generic 9-to-5 office job, do it because their family or someone in their family wanted them to do that. And I feel like that is a lot of the time the motivation drainer for them. But for us, it's completely the overworking ourselves, and so it's like a different type of motivation drains. That's how I think of it.
Overworking is so bad. I want to, like, there's so many tips I can give about, like, I remember I was working with all at once. I was working with Dan, JACKSEPTICEYE, and Corpse, right? And if you don't know Corpse, right?
I know Corpse.
Like I did majority of the like, oh, what's it called? Like the Among Us videos for him, right? Those videos would like overwork me to the bone. Like I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, being, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like it just take time for yourself.
It's like not as
Instead of
flashy as
more.
it seems, alright? Even to me, working with Corpse or working with Dan is amazing.
I love working
But-
with Corpse. He's such a nice guy. But it's just, it overworked me to the bone, to the point where I had to like tell him, I do like, hey man, like I need a little bit of a break, because I am like at the point, I'm at like my breaking point. Like I can't work. I think after that I took like a week and a half break, because I was working every day. I only got like 4 hours of sleep sometimes, which is like, again, I don't regret any of it. With like I had so much fun, but still it was like very stressful.
Yeah.
So don't pile on clients. I mean, it's hard to say that as well.
It's like,
'cause
yeah,
I did
because
that.
every person has a different situation, and some like these things that are subjective, it's hard to just give one answer for them, because every person is different. Every person has a different situation, a different mindset, a different way of working, and these things are subjective. You need to be more careful with your answers when you give them, because obviously you're not gonna force your opinion on somebody.
Exactly, 100%.
So, okay, so at the end, this is the last question I wanted to ask you. You're working with the leading YouTubers at the moment. What do you think these people look for when hiring an editor?
Oh, that's a really good question. Do you mind if I think about that actually?
Yeah, sure.
What's the main thing they look for? Okay, reliability. That is a very big thing actually. So being on time, like communicating with them, telling them what's up, making sure that you're not late, and that is like one of the biggest things, because with these big creators, right, it like most of them are trying to get stuff out consistently, like on the dot, making sure they get a video out maybe every day or every other day. Like Dan, for instance, does that. Jack does that as well. So that's why they're like adamant on like, we need these out quick. And like even with like Corpse and stuff, right? Because at the time he was at his like peak, right? Where like it was like there was so many views on his videos and all that, and people just basically just wanted more, and you had to get them out as quick as you can, because it's just it's so important. That's like the biggest thing they look for probably. And also, just knowing the basics as well. Yeah, but that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Yeah, because I mean, even like with these, especially as big as your clients get, and it doesn't matter if they're nice, I mean, you said Dan is incredibly nice. I know I'm working with a team which is incredibly big, right? I'm in the Middle Eastern scene mostly, so you most likely don't know these people, but this is a team called Galaxy Racer, right? And the people there, this is a team with, we're talking 300k followers on Insta and Twitter and stuff. And one of their, so FNCS?
Yes.
So FNCS, one of their players won FNCS in the Middle East, and they wanted a video out for that, right? And so there's this thing with the video. There's 6 games in FNCS in the tournament, and the player sent me all 6 games completely, 20-minute footage, and so I had to find the clips within those. And then, that was like the content editing part of things. I had to cut up those clips, and then choose a song, do everything in there, make cinematics. And so everything was done. Everything was ready on schedule. And then, so what I like to do is, I think this speeds up stuff, is leaving blank spaces for cinematics. And I think a lot of montage editors do this. All my friends do it so. Leaving space for cinematics in the middle and just doing them all at once at the end. So what happens is they won FNCS on Saturday, right? And the guy said they wanted the video out on Tuesday or Wednesday because they wanted to bring it out within the hype of the whole thing. But then the day that I wanted to record the cinematics, a season update came out, which was like 16 gigabytes.
Oh wow.
And the problem is here where I live, we don't have fast internet. you forget about that stuff. I have a 10 MB internet connection, 10 MB download, 10 MB upload.
I feel so like lucky because I think I gig up, gig down.
So first of all, I had to download all that footage, and each clip was like 7 gigabytes. So I just did an overnight download. I left my PC on for the whole night. And that downloaded all 6 games, 7 gigabytes each. And so I've edited them, and then the 16 gigabytes update comes out. And so the guy who's like helping me with cinematics is like, okay, we can't do them right now. And so we had to wait for like a 6-hour update. Like it took us 6 hours to do a 16 GB update. And if you have a 1 gigabyte connection, it would have taken you 16 seconds. But so that came up. And now I didn't know how to explain this to my boss. I was like, okay, like it's a hurdle. I can't get rid of it. It's not in my control. And so, but that guy was incredibly nice. He was like, okay, fine, we understand. It's an update. You can't do anything about that. And so, I have a nice boss too here. Like, just like Dan with you. And what happens is after that update, we go into the game and we realize a lot of the guns that we were to use in these cinematics, they've been taken out of the game in this update. Yeah.
Oh no.
So that was like that's like really weird. And then so we just try to replicate it to the best of our ability, and the video is delayed by 1 day, right? 24 hours about. And it's still not as perfect as we wanted it to be. But my boss was so nice that he didn't complain about it too much. Right?
Like,
there's
things that you can't really control, right? Like for instance, you can't really control that. Like I've had instances with that as well, and like they kind of gotta be nice to you about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you can't control, and sometimes clients don't understand that, which is like really disappointing. But this guy, he understood it, but like there's a point that you start feeling bad, like, okay, this guy's so nice, but like, why am I not doing everything I can? And it's like, even with a good boss, my point was with this whole story, is even with a good boss, at a certain point, you start feeling guilty. Like, why? Why can't I do this?
I feel guilty all the time, because, I'm trying to get these Dan videos done in a day and a half at most, and yet like there has been times when, like, let's say I'm just not feeling the best, so I go to bed early, and I have to extend it like maybe half a day more or like a day more, and I start feeling bad about it, but I have to remember that, like, I'm human, these things happen. Don't be hard on yourself. It happens to all of us, right? So
okay, so that was the last question that I had to ask you. Now let's move towards the viewers' question. Let's see what the people asked.
I actually haven't looked at them.
Okay.
I wanted to keep it a surprise.
So the first question comes by Noman Fakhr. He asks, how did it feel when you first animated Lily's cute character sketches?
Oh, it was so awesome. It was amazing. I was a huge fan of Lily for the longest time. I watched her for years before I worked for her. And then when I finally got to make my first video for her, it was like I've never felt that good, like, ever. Because it's obviously like my dream client and stuff. But I don't know, it's an awesome feeling. I don't know. I'm very grateful.
Inexplicable.
I learned exactly. I learned a lot working with Lily. I learned a lot of motion graphics working with Lily. I learned a lot of editing skills when working with her. And it was just an amazing experience. I still technically work for her, but I haven't made a video in a bit.
Wait,
hopefully
so
one day
does
soon.
Lily know editing herself too?
She did one video recently, like for fun, but she doesn't really edit regularly. No,
Yeah, but like
it's.
since she
Mhm.
does like so much editing work with so many editors, she's got to know some.
Uh, I I don't. Well, okay, so she has a manager,
Uh
right?
huh.
That's who we go through. I've only talked with Lily like once or twice.
Oh.
Uh, and then the person I went through was through her manager, Jummy, which is like her like manager and like best friend and all that, right? And send over the video to him. He looks over it, and like if he wants to, change anything, he just tells me. Uh, but yeah, it's usually for the most part through the manager, and like honestly, most streamers, like Pokey even, um, it's through the manager, not really through Pokey.
Yeah, because I mean these guys have to stream and then make
Yeah,
off-stream
they're busy.
content, and they
Exactly.
obviously have a life too. So.
Exactly. They're just busy in general, so I
Mhm.
totally understand.
Okay, so I'm going over these questions, and most of these we've already answered in my questions. But the most unique questions are by this Noman Fakhr guy. So the second question
sweet.
is by him too. He's like, "How are you? What the heck? Are you the type who likes to work as the client specifies and make it a reality no matter what, or would you change it up according to your skill for a better suited modern edit to fit the trends?"
Me, the second one. Cause yes, so sometimes the client tells me what they want, and I put my own twist on it. That's kind of what I would usually do. Because there is obviously sometimes when the client wanted something, but it ends up not really working well or not really fitting. So I change it up, but I let them know in between. That's what you got to make sure to do. Tell them like, hey, this doesn't work, but I'm gonna test out something, and I'll send you an update and stuff.
Yeah.
You just gotta communicate with them.
That is true.
Yeah,
I know, I
that's the
know
best thing.
nothing pisses clients off more than when you do stuff without telling them.
Exactly. It it happens all the time. I was a channel manager before for Hot Chubby. I don't know if you know her, but she's like this like Korean streamer, right? And I worked with her from like 0 subs to like 120K, I think, something like that.
Nice.
And like that was a big issue. People just didn't communicate. They didn't tell me what's up. They didn't tell me if the edit's going well or if they're changing stuff up. But like if you're doing something like that, which they requested, you have to communicate with them and tell them what you're gonna do and show them updates even. But yeah, definitely the second option for sure.
Okay. Alright, so the third question is also by the same person. Noman Fakhr asks, how do you set how do you set your work schedule in terms of priority? How has your organizing skill improved since you started editing?
I'm a lot more organized now. I have this thing called a Trello, right? And I keep everything in there. I have all my assets in there. I have everything. I put my schedule in there. I put here, like, you don't have to, if you want to cut this out, you can. But look, even if you want to like take a screenshot, that's fine. But here, 1 second, sorry. See? So I have stuff like that where I fully plan out what I'm doing for the day and what videos I'm working on, what's delayed, what's in the backlog, what's like under review and stuff like that. I usually add that in daily and stuff, and I have like on the left side there's like my I like to keep everything organized because it just keeps my head clear and I'm happy, I'm good, I know what's happening.
This is cool. Wait, what app is this?
It's called Trello.
Okay, I'm gonna use this.
I've been using it for like about a year and a half now, and it's like I don't regret it at all. It's helped me so much, seriously. So any editors, if you want to organize yourself, use Trello. If I don't know if he wants to put up something on the screen. Well, is it gonna be audio or just record? Like,
it's gonna be so like that if you watch the other podcasts, like the two PFPs and then the waveform.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
And I'm gonna put up the screenshot on the screen though. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely need this because there's like so much times I'm done with the video and I'm like, okay, let's Netflix now, and then I'm Netflixing, and then all of a sudden I'm hit with, oh, I had to do this too.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing. I think the thing that helps me out the most with this, right, is I have trouble knowing what at the end of the month what should I invoice, right? I'm like, damn, am I getting it wrong? And do I have the wrong, like, did I make 4 videos this month, or did I make 3? Did I make 5? You know, sometimes I get them messed up, and I don't want that to happen. So I use this to keep everything sorted, and then if I want to see what I have planned and what's like I have as like a priority, I can basically set that up as well.
now that you mention invoices, I wanna ask about that because I've worked in the Fortnite community forever, right? And so this community was new and not professional, right? And I needed to. So everybody that I just worked with, there was nothing written. There was no agreement. If someone scammed me, they scammed me. There was nothing I could do about it. But it was very unprofessional, and there were no invoices involved until now with Galaxy Racer, just I mentioned. And the first time, I worked with them, and they're like, okay, send over an invoice to this. I'm like, how do you do that? So, do you have an experience like that whenever you had to first send an invoice to somebody?
Well, I started using PayPal, and when I started, I'm not gonna lie, when I started, I didn't really get paid at all. And then when I started, like, I guess the first time I got paid, it was like not that much, but it was most of the time when I started, it was just like PayPal transfers, like that was it. But then I started using bank transfers in like now and stuff, but I've never had like an issue figuring out invoices too much because I just kind of Googled it. But yeah.
Yeah, because I was just caught off guard. I was like, what? Invoice?
Okay. Yeah, I used to what's it called? Submit invoices a lot for my job before editing, so I kind of got used to it.
Yeah, because I've never done any professional work.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, another good question comes from Okenji. He asks, what is the biggest roadblock you found while trying to get a video done?
Roadblock.
Like what I faced with the update and stuff.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, oh god. Well.
Did you think it was like a literal roadblock?
No. 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 I'm just trying to think because there's been a lot. I mean, there's this one time when I went to bed and turned off my computer, and then when I turned it back on, it auto updated my Premiere, and everything that I did in the video got corrupted.
Whoa. And
I couldn't do anything about it. I tried to like revert the project back, and nothing would work. So I had to literally restart the project over again, and this was early, but yeah, the client was not happy. Hey, you live and you learn. It doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
but
montage editors, like, especially, okay, so I consider myself lucky. I've never had a project file corrupt. There was only one time that happened.
Yeah.
No, there was only one time one of my project files corrupted, and it was just like a problem with missing files, which the project file didn't take well. Normally, when there's a missing file, it just says that it's a missing file, but it just said, okay, but it just said the project file is corrupted, and I clicked on OK, the project opened up, and then I found that there were just 2 files that were missing, and I fixed that. But I've never actually had like a properly corrupted project file where it doesn't have the data. But my friends have had that, and it's like one of the most annoying problems. So yeah, I consider myself lucky with that. It's like I don't know how that hasn't happened. And every single time I say this, people are like, "You're gonna what is it called? You're gonna what? You're gonna oh god, I forget.
Crash or something?
No, you're gonna what's it called, man? Jinx? No.
Jinx yourself?
Yeah, you're gonna jinx yourself. I think that. I don't know.
I think
But yeah.
so.
But yeah, that hasn't happened, and I've mentioned this 3 to 4 times. So
You're so lucky, you know that.
yeah.
Dude, I have a friend who's never had issues with any like Adobe software, and I don't even know how that's possible. Seriously, like I am like the king of having issues with Adobe. I'm like oh my god.
It's like I've had crashes, obviously, but I feel like it's just because I have a bad computer. Like if I had a decent computer, I don't think I would have crashes anyway. Because the only time I have crashes, the only
Issues with their software.
I mean, yeah, there's render issues. There's a lot of render issues. That's true. Like what kind of issues are you talking about?
Well, like for instance, there's been times when like, well, it still happens today, and I have to like work with it. But like for instance, I'm in After Effects, right? And then like halfway through the video, I can't even preview anything, so I have to like restart Adobe every time I link a comp in After Effects. And it's
It's
so,
like I think
yeah.
I think that's a problem in After Effects, and that affects your Premiere Pro work because it's like it
So
says like
annoying.
you need 2 or more frames to play back or something. That's a problem that comes in After Effects.
Yeah, it's just so annoying. I don't know. Wasn't about it.
But yeah, the problem that I face a lot is with montage editing. You need like tons of plugins. I have like 30 plugins installed. Right, I have this BCC, Sapphire.
I don't have that many at all. Like I'm pretty sure I only have like Sapphire, Red Giant. That's it.
I have
to be honest.
I have VCC, I have Sapphire, I have Shine, Flow, 3D, Element 3D. There's so many.
I have those too. Like I have like Flow as well, and I have Motion Bro and all that stuff as well. Animation Composer.
There's a lot like and there's like nowadays there's literally just like one effect comes out as a whole plugin, and
it's nuts.
So, but yeah, I have like 30 plugins installed in my like thing, that that common folder, because one time I tried to back it up on my like on an external hard drive, and it like took 30 minutes to do that because. Well, it was partly because that hard drive was slow, but it was pretty big too.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, next up we have a question from Jobel. I don't know if I'm saying this wrong. She asks, which video she or he which video did you edit were you most proud of? Any message to other aspiring editors? Let's do the first question.
Yeah. The video I'm most proud of is the corpse one that I did with like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie, I think, and like Logic and stuff. The reason is after that video got posted, my Twitter got flooded. I went from like I think I was at like 2K. I went from 2K to 10K in like 2 months.
Damn.
Which was insane, and I got a lot of attraction, like tons of people following and tons of even creators finding out who I am. And without that video and that opportunity, there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be able to do. So I am like, that video took me a long time. It took me like 5 days to make, and like I was working every day, every hour trying to get it out because it's like 10 POVs. I have like custom graphics for each camera. I had like an animation in it as well. There's like a ton of stuff I put in it, and it was like, I'm very proud of that video because I remember it was just so hard to get through, but when I finally finished it, it was the best feeling ever.
So did you get to edit that video because of Dan?
No, Corpse. Well, wait, like
how did you get to start? Like how did you start working with Corpse?
So Corpse, when he had like 100K followers, he DM'd me because he saw a video I did for Jack, and he wanted it in Among Us editor. So I said, sure, awesome. And then without a doubt, I had no idea he would blow up to the huge person he is now.
Yeah, what's he had right now?
Actually, first,
I think he has 1 million on Twitter now.
He has 3 mil.
3 mil, holy shit. Okay.
Does he? Yeah, he has 3 million, which is
wow.
insane. Of course, is the nicest guy. He is like he's very, very nice. So he's just very intimidating.
Yeah, because of that voice.
dude, like, dude, I remember I was in a call with him and I was like, talking about, I think it was something with payment or something. I don't know. It's not a big deal, but it was just like I was stressing because it was, his deep voice just.
Yeah.
I was so intimidated.
That voice is just gonna come out of the screen, eat me alive.
Yeah. But yeah, no, definitely that corpse radio, because without that, a lot of stuff wouldn't happen, and I'm forever grateful to be able to work for Corpse. It was a great experience, and I hope to make more soon. I'm sure I will.
Okay.
I'm a bit more ready.
Wait, so ever since you did that video, obviously Mr. Beast was in it, so he saw it. Do you ever think about working with Mr. Beast?
Yeah, of course. I've tried messaging Mr. Beast a couple times, but nothing yet. Nothing so far. I mean, his editors are probably he probably already has editors. I understand.
I think he has like a full team.
Huh? Yeah, definitely a full team.
He posts like 5 videos a day.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He definitely has like a full team, but like, I guess behind him and stuff.
Okay. Sure. And Jobel asked 2 questions. The second was, any message to other aspiring editors?
Any message, like tips and stuff?
Anything.
Ooh, I have a good one. Okay. If you're looking to grow as an editor, a couple things to do, right, is please just connect with editors, make friends with people in the community, because I'm being 100%. If I didn't make the friends I did, and it's not connections, right? It's just friends. You make friends in the community. Without those friends, I would be nowhere where I am today. My friend Jinx, she recommended me for Lily. My friend Gabe recommended me for Dan. Pokey, my friend Dunwa, he recommended me for Pokey. So like, without these people, I wouldn't be where I am today. So make friends in the community, help each other out, grow with each other, learn with each other. That's one thing that I recommend 100%. And another thing, sorry, we're going on a bit of a tangent, is how do I explain this? If you want something, just go for it. Don't second guess and be like, I'm not good enough for this. I don't think I'm good enough to do this. But like, if you really want it, just simply ask, email a client or DM a client or something like that. If you want it badly, you'll chase for that. Because I see a lot of editors are like, I don't know how to get a job, or like, I don't know how to contact clients. It's really hard, which it definitely is, but I don't know, just simply reaching out consistently.
I feel like it's hard, obviously, but this industry is so big and wide that I feel like everybody can get a job here.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of there's plenty of jobs everywhere.
There's 230,000 creators who have gotten over I think 1 million. Just definitely. 230,000 people have 1 million plus subs. So just imagine how many people have 100k plus. And so there's so many career options in this industry. It's crazy.
There's jobs galore, especially right now. There's tons of stuff to do. So just there's tons.
That was a good message, because I was having an argument earlier today with someone in a group chat about how social media matters in what we do. Because that person was like, I do motion design IRL, I don't need this. I just do this as a side thing. But I like to believe that word of mouth is the most crucial thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, but like you say, all your big clients, you got recommended by a friend and stuff like that.
Most of them came from friend recommendations or recommendations from other clients. For instance, I worked with Toast for a bit and other clients and stuff, because for instance, Lily and Pokey recommended me, I think, to Toast. That's how they found out about me. So,
So
word
yeah,
of
if
mouth
you
is
if
so important, and making a good impression on them is so important. Be
exactly.
professional.
If
Yeah.
that person who I argued with is watching this podcast, please pay
Yo,
attention to
Yeah, pay
word of
attention,
mouth.
bro. That's right. Pay attention.
Word of mouth is really important.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Next up we have I'm a Ghost Pie asking how many hours a day do you usually edit, and are you fully focused most of the time, or do you get easily distracted by Twitter or YouTube?
Oh God. Okay, so if this was Davis a few months ago, I would say Twitter. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty addicted, like, to Twitter for a bit, like at its like peak. But recently, like over the past like I'd say like month or so, I've been focusing really hard on like just the work in general. So I've been pretty focused just overall. But how many hours do I work per day? It depends on like what the time limit I have on the video is, and like what I have to do. If it's an easy video, I'll work like 5, 6 hours, 8 hours a day on like a small day. But like if it's like I want to get it done, and I want to just make it like a banger and really try my hardest, which I usually do for most videos. But I'd say like there's been times when I did like 14 hours a day, that 12 hours a day. That's like my average, really. But don't overwork yourself. Like I said before, take breaks.
Yeah.
Breaks are the most important thing. Seriously, like I don't work 12 hours in one go. That's not what I'm saying. I probably work maybe like 10. I take time for myself.
I think
It's
I think
very needed.
I'm the addicted to Twitter kind myself, because
Oh yeah, no, it's so easy. Like you just pop
It's-
it open. There's
yeah.
tons of stuff. Like I'm on Twitter on 2 pages right now, on 2 monitors. I'm like, why?
it's yeah, Twitter is really attractive, addicting, and I want to do a social media detox next month.
Yeah, no, it's important to take time off Twitter. Like I've only been like posting like stuff that's like worthy to post. I'm not like shit posting. I don't really. There's like no point. I'm just wasting time.
I mean, I don't know, like Twitter shit posting doesn't matter. Like Twitter is like, I feel like Twitter is that platform where you what mostly want to concentrate on what your clients will see, or what most new potential clients will see.
Definitely, yep.
And
Glad
that's
to
why
post
you
those highlights.
you kind of want to keep it professional, but what I try to do is try to make it a little tiny bit personal too, so that the people that follow me kind of get my personality too.
No, yeah, no, I'm the exact same way. Like I shit post at times, but I'm not like tweeting every minute, because that if your client sees that, it's like, all right, so he's on Twitter and not working.
Yeah, that's one of the most like, okay, so I had this I have a cousin, right? He was over here, and he has a laptop on which we play games sometimes, and this PC was rendering a video for that client, and I'll go on to that laptop and I log into my Discord there to talk with my friends while I'm playing, and we're playing, and the client messages me what's the update on the video. I'm like, it's rendering, and then he takes a screenshot of that game status thing that shows, and he's like, okay, you're playing Fortnite. And I'm like, oh no, it's a different PC, and I like actually came upstairs, took a screenshot and sent it to him, like, I'm doing it on a different PC, don't worry. So yeah, that's whenever your clients like whenever your clients like, okay, are you actually working, that's awkward. Yeah. So but yeah, I'm definitely addicted to Twitter. I want to get rid of it, but it's really hard. Because I feel like the productivity goes up to like double when so nowadays what I do is either I put my phone on do not disturb, or either I put it inside in my room for charging, because I'm not actually in my room. Like my PC isn't in my room, so I put my phone in my room, I start charging it, or I just put it under my pillow, and I come here and start working. And I think that just increases my productivity by like two times, at least 2 times. Because it's like I'm gonna do one effect to one clip, and then I'm gonna open Twitter. Okay, oh, I just edited a clip. Let me check what's up with Twitter, and I'm gonna waste 20 minutes there.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, Twitter is a blessing and a curse. It can get you so much, but it can also destroy. Not like you actually, it can destroy you.
It's like it can get you everything, but it can also destroy all that it gets you. Because if you get work for somebody big through Twitter, and then you don't do that work properly, you know?
Yeah, because of Twitter.
Yeah.
But it happens, like a lot. Like, people get distracted. People, like, it's normal. So don't feel bad for it. Just learn from it, you know. Learn how to balance it up.
Okay, next up we have Pog Chuck asking, did you start on Premiere or After Effects, and what programs did you use first when you were very young?
I used Camtasia Studio for my first editing software.
Wait, really Camtasia has an editing software?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a recording thing.
No, it's called Camtasia Studio.
Yeah.
And it's an editing software where you can record and edit and stuff. I used that first. And then I switched over to...
But is it like Filmora?
I don't... Yeah, kind of. It's not very good. I wouldn't even recommend it at all. So,
okay.
Yeah. But I used Sony Vegas, but like at the start of my editing. But right when I started working with Natsumi, that's when I switched over to Premiere, and then I worked in Premiere for like the first like couple months, and then I started using After Effects as well, and that's when my editing went from like it got a lot better from there when I started using After Effects.
Okay, I want to ask you this because as I said, I started in Vegas, right? And my first friends group, most of them edited on After Effects, and so I was like, okay, let's try After Effects. And the first time I opened that program, that whole layout, it just confused me so much. I just instantly closed it.
Yeah, no, it takes time, but once you can learn it and really get down like the nitty-gritty of it, that software,
it's so powerful.
Is so powerful. You can do like anything I think of. I'm like, I can do it in After Effects. And except like what I can do some 3D. Yeah,
you can partly do 3D, but not the stuff that like you do on Cinema 4D or something. But you know, that like now, if like I've been editing on After Effects for 2 years now, and now I tried going to Vegas for a specific project, and I was like, what? How did I use this program? Why? It's so limiting.
I've never tried to like go back to Sony Vegas, and I'm actually kind of thinking about trying it, just for fun. I don't know. It's
like that pan crop feature in in Sony Vegas is so much worse. It's so inefficient. Like, you know, in After Effects you just press S, you decrease or increase the scale value, and that's it. In here you have to click on that, like a new window opens, and then you scroll the whole thing. It's annoying, especially when you have to animate it. So I don't get how I used to edit on that, but yeah, it's definitely, it's hard to get started on Adobe, but it's hard to get off of Adobe after you start.
Exactly. Like, I don't see myself ever changing unless something better comes out. Then yeah, of course.
I think DaVinci's taking over right now a lot.
DaVinci's looking good. I want to stay updated on that, because if it ends up being a bit more powerful than After Effects and stuff, then damn, I'd do the switch.
I think the main advantage DaVinci has right now is the rendering, because it's almost like faster than double.
Really?
Because it actually properly like utilizes multi-core rendering and GPU rendering. But there is also, in the latest update of Premiere Pro and After Effects, the beta versions they provide in the Creative Cloud.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you download those beta versions, they introduced this multi-render feature, which basically is multi-core rendering. And yeah, so if you know Starker, he's a freelance VFX for
Yeah. He's nuts.
Phase. Yeah, he's nuts. So he tweeted about this. I saw it on his Twitter, but he tweets and he tested it out, and he says that it makes rendering like 2.3 times faster. So yeah, that was the main advantage that DaVinci had, but it seems like After Effects is working on it too, because of, you know, finally they have some competition.
Yeah, I hope so. Because
back to what we were saying, when you don't have competition, you stop trying, and that's like, even though Adobe makes amazing stuff, they just stopped at one point.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Okay, Marshy asks, how did you feel when you got the offer to work with DANTDM?
It was so sudden. I remember it like it was yesterday. Actually, I remember. So I was looking for work at the time, just like some extra like small work, and then my friend, Four, which is an editor as well, he works for Toast right now. But he was like, "Hey, I think we need a like backup editor, right?" And it was so random, and I'm like, "Okay, sick." And then like the next day, I woke up, I think from a follow from Dan, and a message from him was like, "Hey, you know, you want to work for me, blah, 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 blah. You're super nice." And I don't know, it was just like very shocking. It was very surreal. I was like, wow.
I'm trying to imagine getting a DM from Dan. I would probably jump.
I was probably super hyped and super giddy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very surreal. Every client I ever have worked for, it's very surreal. I was thinking about it yesterday actually. I was like, it's weird. Like it doesn't feel real. I don't know, it doesn't feel real at all.
Yeah, like I mean, I started like 2 to 3 years ago too, and I've not found the success that you have so far, but even when I think of where I started and where I am now, it just makes me proud. Like, no question asked.
You should be proud of yourself. Yeah, of course. Everybody should be proud of themselves, like, honestly.
So, you know, everybody makes progress slowly but surely.
Definitely.
But when you look back at where you started after like a few years, it's surreal.
It's such a crazy feeling. I did it a couple months ago actually. I remember I was looking at my old videos from like 2-3 years ago, and I'm just like, wow, I thought this was good. But I was so bad.
Okay. Yeah, because
it is really wholesome though.
It's crazy because just from September, I have an edit that I did in September, and when I made that edit, I was so proud. I was like, okay, I'm never gonna be able to top this. And I was watching that last week, and I was like, you're so shit. You're bad. And it's sometimes, you know, and it's like, nowadays we're progressing so slowly that we don't even notice, but when we compare ourselves to, like, you know, even a year-old version of ourselves, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's really fun to look at, for sure.
Okay, what PvPKW is one of my friends. He asks, how were you on Final Fantasy for 11 hours? What? Wait, what happened here? I don't know.
I think he is talking because I remember I had a day off the last 2 days, pretty much. Well, it's been like a day and a half since I finished that video. And then I think right as I finished the video, I got on Final Fantasy and I played it for like 8 hours, and then I fell asleep.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very addicted to that game right now. It's like my comfort game.
Okay, so. Oh, okay. There's a lot of people asking about your Spotify playlist and what are your go-to artists or albums to listen to while working. There's a lot of people that have asked this.
That's funny. That's weird.
So do you have a specific playlist?
I do. I can send it to you if you want.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll put it in the description for everybody that asked.
Sure. I can just update it after, but how many people are even liking it now? Did I?
So have you made this yourself, or did you just find this?
Yeah. I made it myself.
Okay. So everybody who wanted this playlist, it's gonna be in the description down below. You can check it out there.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Kelgan. He asks, who inspires you to edit?
My friends. My friends are fucking so talented. My friends are awesome, and I've learned so much from them, and I'm continuing to learn so much from them. But that's like my main inspiration, and also like myself, I get really hyped every time I make something that's cool. Like for instance, I did this edit. It was like an Among Us thing, like that, like starting animation or whatever, from like Among Us, right? I added that in with like motion graphics and stuff. I thought that looked kind of cool, and I was like hyped about it. You know, I've never seen anyone do that before, so. Cool,
Oh yeah,
awesome.
that feeling when you do something never done before.
It's awesome, and that feeling, it's that for sure.
I did something that like I thought was never done before. It was like sort of inspired from another editor, but it hadn't been done, like exactly that thing.
Yeah.
Never done before.
Inspiration, yeah.
And what happened is that edit blew up. All right. Not too much, but it did like get well recognized, at least in the community where I'm working.
Yeah.
And literally like 2 days later, somebody cloned the effects completely, like frame for frame. Somebody cloned it.
Oh really?
So, yeah. And it was like a few people like tagged me under the video, and I didn't want to make too big of a drama out of it, but it ended up becoming a drama anyway because of other people arguing. So yeah. VCTF asks, where favorite editors to hang out with and why is it me? Is this guy your friend?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Favorite editors that like to hang out with? I have a lot of editor friends. Like I have a lot of great editor friends. The ones that I'm hanging out with recently,
Audacity?
Polite, the Ludwig editors like Polite, Shake, Prezzo, Lithe, VC. I hang out with VC sometimes. I hang with a lot of editors. It's kind of hard to say, like Scott, Archie, Larry. There's tons of people I hang. Connor. There's tons of editors I talk with. It's not really like I don't have like a favorite. I love all of them the same. Froster. Oh my whole. I have this one Discord server, and it's just filled with editors, right? And we all just hang out in there. Pretty cool.
Okay, I want in.
Bro, definitely.
Alright, so that was it for the viewer questions. Last but not least, I want to know a content editor's workflow, because like I told you, the first thing I do is sync up the clips, and then we have our cinematics, then we have our effects, and then we have the whole pan and crop and effects and everything that just kind of comes out as one, and then we do our SFX, and finally we have the color correction on the top, everything, and then motion blur, final touches. So that's how a montage editor like me works, and I think most of the people who do montages work like this.
Yeah.
So how is your workflow? Like what do you do first? What do you do as? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I can tell you. So pretty much what happens, right, is I get the footage from a client, I download it, and then I immediately put it into Premiere, and then I proxy it. So what proxying does, I don't know if you know what proxying does.
No.
Okay, so what proxying does pretty much is you render out the entire file at a very low resolution, so it's easy to play back.
Oh, so just cutting is faster and stuff?
Cutting it is way quicker. It's like instant. It'll shave down a lot of time from the editing. So
wow, that's smart.
I proxy, and then I put in all my stuff. I sync up the camera with the gameplay and the audio with the camera. I cut it. After I'm done cutting it, I do a quick run over just to make sure everything's good. That usually takes like 2 seconds. Then I get into After Effects. Now I do every single effect that I do in the video, like visually, I do in After Effects. So I take sections, like a 30-second section, and I edit that in After Effects. I render that out from After Effects, and I put it back in to Premiere. which takes like,
Okay.
it's pretty simple. And then once I'm done with all the After Effects stuff, I do sound effects, and I'm done, and I render.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I like that proxying thing because
Proxying is very nice. Yeah.
I mentioned I have a bad PC and this would help a lot.
Proxying does help. The one thing proxy does do though, proxies take, like, let's say like a 3-hour VOD would probably take like 4 hours to proxy. That's the only downside.
Yeah, true.
But when you're cutting it, it's probably super laggy, especially if it's like a lot of footage. So when it's worth the 4 hours, because you'll be able to cut that really quick, and also like editing it and like sound effects and stuff and all that will be super easy to play back and stuff. So yep.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think having your a smooth workflow, having a smooth workflow is like more important than actually having like because you know, I mean, fast workflows are important too, but you know, if like you mentioned, like if during cutting your program gets stuck or something, that just, you know, throws you out of the zone when you're in editing.
By the way, with proxies, I don't know if I mentioned this, but with proxies, it renders the footage, right? It's as like a lower resolution, right? But then when you render it, it's full quality. It's not low quality still. It'll be full quality afterwards. I don't know if
because you use the original footage when you do the final render.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got that.
Yeah, gotcha. Sick.
So
make sure.
yeah, no, using 240p footage for a video.
Yeah. Oh my god, you don't even like. Dude, oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, we like, you know, I rendered this on 5-bit rate.
Yeah, 5-bit, right? You know, like
5
pixels. But I can still make out what it says. It's fine.
Yeah, those subtitles really clean. I can see motion in the video. That looks nice. Some pixel moved. That was cool. It looks like a Nintendo DS.
Yeah. It looks like a Game Boy.
Alright, well, that's the end of the podcast then. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is really cool. I've never been on like a little podcast like this before. I'm excited to see what people think about it.
Yeah, I started this like about 5-6 months ago. Actually, I think it's longer. Awesome. But you know, it was basically a way for me to produce content and also a way for me to talk to everybody I was ever inspired by. Because obviously not everybody is going to respond to all my DMs. Like, you know, if I'm fanboying in their DMs, they're too busy to reply to that. But you know, I found that this podcast was a way for me to get to talk to all my inspirations. Like Enigma was one of them. You're one of them. I want to get Archie. I had Sense was actually the first guest on here. And there's just like, you know, Divinity and George. Those guys are like so good at motion design. I want to, you know. So yeah, everybody who I'm inspired by, I want to invite her on here. And I'm starting. Yeah, it means a lot to have you, dude. It's crazy because I've been following Dan for so long, and then I've loved your works ever since I've seen it. It's crazy.
Thank you. That's awesome.
So yeah, but yeah, next week is actually a really big episode. I'm not gonna say anything too like much, but just to build some hype. Right now, I'm gonna say it's a massive episode. Yeah, because I'm trying to change up the format. Normally, I only have one guest on, and we talk about whatever we want. But I once did have 3 guests, but that was because of the phase thing. Have you seen the phase Valorant montage?
I haven't. No.
Well, that was made by 3 editors, and you know, the point of that podcast, the theme of that podcast was to talk about that montage and how they made it. Yeah, and that's gonna be the future of the podcast. How like there's gonna be one specific theme or one like big project, or one, you know, basically theme at the end of the day. And you know, we're going to focus on that. We're going to talk about that. So I'm excited for the next episode. But yeah, this was amazing. You're one of the best guests I've ever had. I was properly
Really?
vibing with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Just chilling, man.
it was fun. Thank you for coming on once again.
Of course, dude.
Um,
Anytime. Thanks.
I'll
for-
see you guys next week. I hope to keep in touch with you, Davis.
Of course,
And yeah, well, have a good day, guys. Have a good day, Davis. And
Yeah.
goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
See you all next week.